Perfect. Okay. Hi, Deanna. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm awesome, Jodi. It's so glad to be with you. Thank you so much
Thank,
for the invitation.
thank you. Thanks for spending a few minutes with us today. Everyone, I'm here with Deanna Murphy, Chief People and Culture Officer at Thriven. I'm Jodi Neuhauser, founder and CEO of In Women's Health, the only career acceleration platform for jobs and careers in women's health. And today I'm here with Deanna. We're going to talk for 2 to 5 minutes quickly around strengths and why it's important to understand your strengths. So, Deanna, let's kick it off with that question. What is important about understanding our strengths?
Well, if you're looking for a job in women's health and you want to be at your best and be able to deliver it when no one else can, then you need to be able to have the language that's going to help you in a job interview. You need to have the understanding that strengths gives you about what you can bring that really makes you your best. You need to also understand that one of the things that's so cool about strengths, if you really get what your strengths are, they don't just inform what you can bring to other people, they also inform what you need to show up at high energy and high performance over and over again. If you understand your strengths, you also recognize that strengths and weaknesses are two sides of the same coin. And if you're not aware, your strengths can get flipped into a weakness on a dime. And then these brilliant, amazing contributions suddenly become your biggest deficits. So learning about strengths, learning what strengths you have, learning what they need, learning what triggers them, learning what your strengths look like as weaknesses allows you to show up more at we call the optimal zone, high energy and performance, more of the time, and set yourself apart. And it also helps you then to prepare for an interview so you have the language to describe what sets you apart from other people. Those are some of the
Yeah.
things that come to mind.
No, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I think one of the things we know, right, that power skills or soft skills, as they used to be called, are extremely important in the hiring process, and being able to demonstrate those, including things like self-awareness and understanding your own capabilities and strengths, and then what that looks like, to your point, when they turn into weaknesses, we know is extremely important from hiring managers in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when people know their strengths, Deanna, what difference does it make? Whether, either in the hiring process, the job interview process, and then even once they're in their new role?
What a great question. I'd love to answer that with the first phrase that I would use is emotional intelligence. You think in women's health, of all places, emotional intelligence is so important. It starts to teach you, if you understand your strengths, you begin to realize I'm getting frustrated. And I'm frustrated because your strengths actually color the way you see everyone and everything. It actually helps you to recognize when you're experiencing frustration and to have the tools that you need to flip yourself out of negativity, out of the swirl, out of the frustration, and be able to turn that around. The second part of that I think is also useful, I believe that understanding your strengths, one of the biggest differences that it makes is that it makes you better able to plug your puzzle piece into anyone else's puzzle piece. Like when you get who you are and you stop expecting other people to be like you actually understand how to blend what you are with other people rather than try to force fit your own unique impact. I would say the other thing that I've seen, and I've seen it over and over again, is that when you're looking for a job, you can almost predict that every interview is going to have something to do with what are the unique strengths that you bring to this role. And when you can rattle it off, I'm a strong differentiator. I see the unique gifts in others. I have the ability to be a surveyor. I can see what ifs and see around the corners and imagine different pathways. And you can start to describe yourself in specific terms that leave your interviewers pretty much blown away. I also think the one thing that it does that's additional that we don't often think of, it actually helps you to figure out what to say no to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you won't say yes to every job. If you know what your strengths are, you know what you need. That means you're interviewing that future organization, future leader, to identify whether or not your unique needs are going to be honored and understood when you get there. So it gives you a way to discriminate that I don't think most people are aware of. Pretty powerful, in my opinion.
I completely agree. And we see this with all of the members of the In Women's Health platform and community who have gone through and who have done their Strengths Multiplier assessment. We even help people understand based on what comes out of that, maybe what type of company might be the right for them, right? You may need conditions where you need predictability and you need specific frameworks and structure. There's also going to be people who don't need that. For me, that's actually very constraining based on my strengths. I need to be in an environment where it's very free flowing and lots of ideas can be interchangeable all the time, and that there's always something new going on. So for me, an earlier stage startup makes a lot more sense than maybe a more corporate role or something that's a little bit further down the path. And so those are things that I, having gone through this process with you and with the Thrive-In team, really have started to understand, and I'm really looking forward to bringing to the In Women's Health community and the broader women's health ecosystem in whole. So Deanna, we're going to be doing a larger 90-minute workshop together. It's coming up in both February and in March. And that's called Using Your Strengths Multiplier. It's going to dig into the assessment. So everyone is going to go through the Using Your Strengths assessment beforehand. And then we'll bring those results to the Using Your Strengths Multiplier workshop with us. And there you're going to learn, what do you bring that makes you unique? What are you going to need to be best in your job? What are the triggers that might trigger your strengths into weaknesses? And what do your strengths look like when they become a weakness? How do they show up? So I'm really excited to dig into this content with you, Deanna. Anything else you want to add about the workshop?
Just the last thing, this is also a networking opportunity because you'll be peer coaching. So you're going to get a chance to not just learn for yourself, but then have the opportunity to connect in maybe a slightly different way than we often see on a webinar, and really get to know a colleague and their unique strengths. That person would coach you, you would coach them, and you come out of there with great insight about yourself, and you've learned something about another person that creates a connection that might even expand beyond the class experience.
Amazing. The number one reason that people gather with the In Women's Health community is for networking. And so to expand their network, to meet others who are passionate about improving women's lives, and you'll absolutely have the opportunity to do this as a workshop. So we hope to see you all there. Thanks, Deanna.
Everybody. We hope to see you there. Bye.
Bye. All right.